Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world, and join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling history on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is July 8th, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right, these are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1941, one of the Valiant clan, Jerry Valiant. 1975, the luchador known as Mr. Atlantis. 1981, journeyman wrestler Luke Hawx. Let's keep that positivity train a-rolling. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for July 8th. Taking a super short trip in the Wayback Machine, as we start in 1980. The WWF does a marathon taping of Championship Wrestling in Allentown, Pennsylvania. 19 matches take place, with the main event being Hulk Hogan defeating WWF World Champion Bob Backlund via disqualification. Just 2 years later in 1985, Don Muraco is crowned the King of the Ring, winning a one-night tournament in Foxborough, Massachusetts at the Sullivan Stadium before 23,000 fans, last defeating in the finals the Iron Sheik. Grabbing my flannel and going to the decade of grunge, 1990. NWA World Champion Sting, in his first match as champion, teams with NWA US Champion Lex Luger to defeat Ric Flair and Barry Windham in an NWA show ran in Roanoke, Virginia. 1988, NWA US Tag Team Champions, the Fantastics, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers, defeat the Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton, and Stan Lane in a scaffold match for a Jim Crockett Promotions ran show in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Grabbing my flannel and going to the decade of grunge, 1990. NWA World Champion Sting, in his first match as champion, teams with NWA US Champion Lex Luger to defeat Ric Flair and Barry Windham in an NWA show ran in Roanoke, Virginia. Bumping ahead 1 year to 1991, the Barroom Brawlers defeat Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller for the USWA Tag Team titles in Memphis, Tennessee. Most notably, in his WWF debut, Sid Justice, formerly Sid Vicious in the NWA and other promotions, pinned Ted DiBiase. Sticking in 1991, the WWF run a marathon TV taping in Calgary, Alberta, Canada at the Saddle Dome before 13,500 fans, with over 31 matches taped. Most notably, in his WWF debut, Sid Justice, formerly Sid Vicious in the NWA and other promotions, pinned Ted DiBiase. And last but not least, 1996, Rey Mysterio Jr. defeats Dean Malenko for the WCW Cruiserweight title in Lake Buena Vista, Florida, at the Disney MGM Grand Studios. This was the first of 8 title reigns with the belt for Rey in WCW and the WWE. Those were your super short but sweet pro wrestling history highlights for July 8th. I'm the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.